Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, March 8th, and time for another episode of HHS In Depth. I'm Jessica Walter.
And I'm Cernil Alario. Welcome to another edition of the show.
On today's episode, after having success at Nationals 2 weeks ago, and now preparing for state this weekend, reporter Carson Clymer brings you a story on this year's Homestead Dance teams.
Another team preparing for state is our speech and debate team, and reporter Mackenzie Bush gets you caught up on their season so far this year.
Reporter Andre Centliver covers our Homestead Show Choir teams as competition season has picked up.
Allie Davis brings you a student profile over senior Jacob Maggart, who recently started a paid internship at Kelly Automotives. See how he won this prestigious job.
I'll tell you how juniors can start applying to be one of the student section leaders next school year.
And Chris and Ethan are in with this weekend's weather forecast.
We'll bring you all those stories and much more, so stay tuned for today's episode of HHS In Depth. We begin today's show with a story over the Homestead Spartan dance teams, who recently competed at Nationals and are now preparing for state tomorrow. Here's reporter Carson Clymer.
The Homestead Dance team is closing in on the end of their storied season this year, with it being one of the most successful in recent memory.
This being my third year on varsity, it's definitely been the best year that we've had so far. All of us are really like a tight-knit group, and we all work really hard. We know when to have fun, but then we also know when to be motivated and work hard, so it's been the best year yet.
This season is definitely one to remember. With it being my fourth year on varsity, I can surely say it's been the best one yet.
This is my third year on varsity, and I feel like it's been the best season yet that I've had in my experience because I've never been on such like a hard-working team before, and it's really nice to just be dancing with some really talented group of people.
This weekend at state, the dancers have high hopes after an extremely successful trip to Nationals earlier this year.
This weekend at state, we really want to just have our best run of the competition season so far. We want to keep up our hard work and positivity and just go out with a bang.
This weekend at state, I hope to achieve just like one of the best runs we've done in the season. Coming out of Nationals, I feel like we did pretty great, but like with that experience, we can do even better, and working with this team, I'm just really excited for that.
The team took a trip to Orlando for their Nationals trip and were elated with a national runner-up finish.
The biggest surprise of the year was definitely how well we did at Nationals. I believed in us, but I think going into Nationals, we don't know what teams we're going to be up against, so coming out as national runners-up, that was the biggest surprise.
The surprise was not only beating our biggest competitors, the Team Lake Central, once but twice, once in prelims and then again in finals at Nationals.
The seniors share similar takeaways from their time on Homestead Dance team.
Being on dance team for 4 years has not only taught me dance, but life lessons and things I will carry with me for the rest of my life.
Dance team is just so wonderful. I'm not only learning all about dance every day, but I'm learning the most important life lessons, and it's really just things you wouldn't get anywhere else.
Good luck to the dance team as they compete at state this weekend. For HHS In Depth, I'm Carson Clymer.
If you are interested in talking current events and politics, then get on out to Young Americans for Freedom on Monday from 2:45 to 3:15 in room 718. Students of all political viewpoints are welcome. Go and join the conversation.
The final meeting of the USA Bio-Olympiad Club will be today after school from 2:45 to 3:30. Please give your $5 to Mrs. Vale for pizza.
Design Club will meet after school on Monday, March 11th from 2:45 to 3:30 in room 104 to continue working on their current projects. They hope to see you there.
Biomedical Science Club students. Next Wednesday, March 13th, they will be hosting a lab activity using a cancerous suspension of HeLa cells, producing a stained slide to be viewed on an oil immersion microscope. They will also be discussing the medical ethics involved with this piece of history. This club session will run from 2:45 to 4 p.m. Check your email to RSVP. At this meeting, they will also be distributing permission forms for their trip to St. Francis University in April.
Poetry Club meets every Thursday from 2:45 to 3:30 in Miss Witt's room 119. Bring a poem to share or just yourself, and snacks will be provided.
And now here is reporter Ellie Davis with another student profile story. This week you'll learn about senior Jacob Maggart, whose time at Anthus helped land him a very prestigious paid internship through Kelly Automotives.
This semester, Homestead senior Jacob Maggart was given the opportunity to take his automotive skills to Kelly Chevrolet as part of a paid internship, and his interest started at an early age.
I was just always interested in taking stuff apart. I was the kid. Mom and Dad would come home to have the house ransacked and in a million pieces, and then I wanted to learn how to put it back together. So I got into cars, which I liked, and I liked messing around with stuff, and putting it back together, taking it apart. So that's how I ended up down at Anthus and now at Kelly where I am.
Staff informed students that dealerships were interested in their skills and having them come to work for them.
A bunch of teachers approached us kids with a proposition that Kelly would be taking on 4 or 5 kids into their program. We used to have a program called the AYES program. Well, this past year they revamped that, and now it has become the internship program. And this isn't just limited to Kelly. There's a bunch of other dealerships and brands that we work with.
Each day, Maggart works with technicians working on and repairing cars.
Right now I work with a transmission technician, and every day that I go in, we have general transmission issues that we have to diagnose, repair. So we have to go a step beyond diagnosing, if you will, and make sure that the problem is completely certified and properly repaired.
Kelly Chevrolet is giving students a jumpstart on their future with the hands-on experience and allowing them to improve their skills each day.
At Kelly, it really shows you the inner workings of the day-to-day life. You constantly trying to find a way to get that bolt off, or you rounded a bolt off, so now you have to thread the hole and drill it out and whatnot. And it just shows that the industry is a lot different of an animal.
If learning specific trade skills interests you, talk to your guidance counselor today about the opportunities the Anthus Career Academy offers. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Ellie Davis.
Get out to Homestead's next environmental club on Monday in Miss Merkling's room 206. Bring a friend and don't miss out on their meeting covering the New to You fundraiser. Never been a member before? It's not too late to join. So go on out on Monday at 2:45 in room 206.
Join Young Progressives for a meeting today from 2:45 to 3:30 in Mrs. Smith's room 614, where they will be catching up on current events. All are welcome and snacks will be provided. And don't forget about the Young Progressives and Young Americans for Freedom joint meeting on Friday, March 15th in the IMC from 2:45 to 3:30. They hope to see you there.
Drama and Improv Club will meet Monday, March 11th from 2:45 to 3:30 in room 904. All are welcome to join the fun.
Another one of our teams at Homestead is preparing for state this weekend as well. Reporter Mackenzie Butts brings you a story on our speech and debate team as well as Homestead's speech class.
The speech and debate team here at Homestead is excelling in their recent competitions. 2 competitors are advancing to the state competition, while Mr. Trice, the head coach for the team, has high expectations for the upcoming Indiana High School Forensic Association state competition in Indianapolis this weekend.
So we had 2 of our speakers, our Spartan speakers, come out of the sectional tournament just blazing. We had a sectional champion in discussion, Michaela Hevinson, and we also had another one of her peers, which is Malia Shambavi. Both of those students will be moving on to the state competition. It will bring together all of the schools in the state of Indiana, and they'll be competing for top honors. And so our expectation is that our 2 speakers that have made their way, who have qualified, are going to perform very, very well.
I'm one of the first people to go to state in a while for Homestead. So we're going to be competing, and there's going to be 6 rounds, including a quarterfinal, a semifinal, and a final. And in the final round, if either of us make it, there will be 7 judges.
Becoming a part of the Homestead Speech and Debate team or enrolling in any Homestead speaking course can benefit students in the future and at the college level.
I think that the skill of being able to give a speech and present yourself is definitely a valuable skill to have, especially in careers where you will be presenting or just working with other people in general.
Public speaking is an investment that students make that pays dividends not only today but well into their future.
If you see these two competitors in the hallways, be sure to wish them luck for this weekend's competition. For HHS In Depth, I'm Mackenzie Butts.
Choir season is up and running, and to learn more about it and the people who make up our show choir team, here's reporter Andre Sentliver.
One class many students enjoy is show choir, where two groups, Class Royale and Elite, compete against other schools vocally and choreographically.
Show choir is a competitive form of singing and dancing. Mr. Shaw and I pick 6 songs that we really like or that have been suggested to us by students, and we put it together to create a show. And we design a backdrop, we design costuming around it. We have hired in choreographers to thoroughly think through the text of the numbers, and we put it all together into a 16-17 minute show with a costume change and everything. And then we fine-tune it to compete with it amongst other schools across the nation.
Members join for their love of singing and dancing.
So in middle school, I was already a pretty good singer, but I didn't really know what the next step was. So I really just wanted to take it a step further, and show choir was the avenue to do that.
The students enjoy the competition season, and members always have a good time.
My favorite part about show choir is definitely the competition season. It's the most fun part, and it's just a time when we get to have the most fun throughout the year.
My favorite part about show choir is honestly choreo days, like the Saturdays leading up to competition season, because you get to see kind of how the show's gonna turn out at the end, and just learning the choreo is really fun.
Just in a couple of weeks here, we're going to be having the show choir workshops. So you're going to come in to the workshop, you're going to learn a dance routine and a song that Mr. Shaw has picked out. And then from there, you will perfect it over about 3 or 4 days. And then at the end of the week, in groups of 4, you come in and perform it for Mr. Shaw, myself, and Ms. Beauchamp. And then from there, we make our selections for Class Royale and Elite.
If you are interested in joining, talk to Mr. Shaw in the choir room and see them perform at Norwell this weekend. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Andre Sentliver.
If you are a junior and interested in being a part of the Student Section Leaders next school year, then watch this to learn more about how to apply.
Even though we haven't hit spring break yet, it's time to start thinking about next year's Student Section Leaders already. If you are a current junior, love Homestead High School, are passionate about attending our sporting events, and think you have what it takes to represent our entire school and student body in a leadership position, then we are looking for you. Each year, Homestead High School asks for a few student volunteers to work behind the scenes all year long in preparation for major sporting events, to make each night as memorable from the stands as it is from the playing field. Homestead High School Student Section Leaders will get to be a part of everything from the annual t-shirt design, to creating themes for every home game, to running the social media accounts and promoting that week's big game on HHS In Depth. They will also work closely with Homestead administrators to understand expectations to uphold at Homestead and ways to make our student section inclusive for all Homestead students. So whether you want to continue the tradition set forth by students who have come before you, or venture out and make new ideas, or even replicate from college or other high schools, that is up to the students in charge of the student section that year. If this is something you are interested in, please email Mr. Schenkel from your Saks account at tshankel@saks.k12.in.us and letting him know of your interest. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Jessica Walter.
And now it's time for the weekend weather forecast. Here's an all-new 2.5 weatherman with Chris Wang and Ethan Turner.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Ethan Turner.
And I'm Chris Wang.
And this weekend's looking a rather depressing, Homestead. It's going to be rainy, cloudy, and all that this weekend. So let's get right into the weather forecast. For today, it's going to be a mix of cloudy and sunny weather with a high of 41 and a low of 26.
For tomorrow, it's going to be rainy in the afternoon with a high of 46 and a low of 37.
And finally, for Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy with chilly winds and a high of 43 and a low of 29. Sorry to inform you, Homestead, our cancelometer is going to be canceled for the season as winter is coming to a close and warm weather is coming to our doorstep.
Well, Homestead, that was your weekend weather forecast. It looks like it's going to be a pretty wet weekend. I'm Chris Wang.
And I'm Ethan Turner, and we'll see you on next week on the next episode of 2.5 Weathermen.
Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Jessica Walter.
And I'm Serena Lalauria. Thank you for watching today.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to our radio station, The Point 91 FM.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you right back.